So,
Just to get the grant for.
the free. That's it. Good.
Yeah, we need to do that. Really.
Yeah.
Maybe it makes
So I
sense.
said, what's new? Yeah. Recording, yeah.
Little bit early, so just wait for them. So we have to do this, but you can stop in.
Oh, lunch is maybe. Well, I was actually before we filtered to town. Salary. Food culture, it's all culture. Art, culture and food.
Imagine that into the food for it, which is tasteful.
Yes, we love it.
Should we start? If we started recording. Hello and welcome. Thank you, Anna, for joining us online. This is the second culture meeting. I think we need to take any apologies for absence. Apologies from Councillor Ryan Evans. And Tim is supposed to be coming, isn't he? Tim should be coming. Right, we'll make a start then. Any declarations of interest of? Okay, and just somebody please to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So,
Right then, just from Ian now please, if we can have an update on the actions from the previous meeting.
Certainly, Chair, to be very brief. There's the first action is number 18, which has been deferred to July, which relates to the cheese and wine. The second one relates to small businesses, which has been deferred to January 24.
25.
I beg your pardon. And the last one is with the Mumbles Folk and Blues Festival, which is an agenda item. So if you're agreeable, it's agenda item number 9. Should we leave that for number? Yeah. That concludes all the actions.
Very much. Right then, next we would normally have a budget monitoring report. The budget monitoring report, which is need to approve from or finance.
Could I just mention something? For all the committees and the full council, he's redesigned the reports. They're colour coded now. Some of you may be aware of that. So in essence, green is good, it's underspent. Red is overspent. And hopefully he's simplified the form, but he would appreciate some feedback.
Okay.
So if you're able to provide any feedback, I'll feed it back to him.
Well, I think it's easier to understand
yeah,
and to scan through it, isn't it, with the colour coded?
Yes, it is, yeah.
that's what we said on the finance committee as well. It was a lot easier just to get your head around it and digest it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then moving on to Tim with an absence of Mumbles update, please.
There isn't any update because we're still hopefully waiting for the budget to be approved at the full council level.
Okay.
But we are going to meet again early next month to shall, see what is behind the schedule.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on at the moment.
No. You don't need any help with anything at the minute?
Venues.
Venues is the only thing, isn't it? But
Did you contact the Peters?
they haven't contacted the St. Peters, but they've asked me to get back to that, which I will do. Now, they want to leave it till after the holiday and that, so I'll get back onto it.
Okay, were they available?
Well, he wanted to see what the dates were. I think they could be available. The main thing was he wanted to see what the dates were, but from the email, what he wanted to do as well was particularly to meet with me as chair of the council to discuss closer collaboration between ourselves and All Saints.
Okay, as in to do it at both venues.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's sort of what we had in mind. But there's also We did talk about the possibility up at St. Peter's as well, wasn't there? There's the coffee place up at St. Peter's.
Yeah,
Because, you know, what we've talked about, there's maybe different venues around the area. Now, the also thing with All Saints, it's a bit close really to the Austrian.
On your street.
But have we had the Austrian guaranteed yet?
Guaranteed only till Sunday
Yeah.
afternoon. Before 5 o'clock, we have to leave, move everything out.
and then you want to take it to a different venue then?
Yeah.
Right, okay,
The issue is, I spoke to Mumbo's Gallery.
yeah.
It's been difficult for them to commit at this stage.
To the time?
Yeah, it's a bit early. Well, if we don't know when we're gonna have it's also difficult.
So how long are you looking at keeping it in each place before you move it on to the next place?
Flexible. We are flexible, but at the same time, when we did discuss this, I did, correct me if you had a different interpretation. I think we want to do much under, say, something like 3 days.
Yeah.
Because by the time you set it up and take it down, sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But then maybe 5 days may be a bit long for places, you know.
So we're looking at doing this in October.
Yeah.
End of October, I think that's the school.
But also, the thing is, in these venues, you can put it up, hopefully, mean that the venue can't be used for anything else.
Yeah.
Because, you know, again, we sort of thought, well, if the venue's like this being used, it's a good way of getting people in to look at, you know, what's there,
Yeah,
even if they might not specifically come to that.
maybe would it be nice to do for the next meeting, like a time frame
Yeah,
of what's to come? Because I think we'll probably need to start advertising that it's happening to get entries, won't we?
yeah.
Yeah.
Some sort of Gantt chart would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, we good. Yeah, okay.
Look at that.
Right, the next one is Mumbles Fest feedback. So if you've got a burning desire to give us something now, not to forget, feel free, we can add it to the list. I think that's what we've got, is a list that is growing to have a proper hour to spend on Mumbles Fest as a debrief as a whole, because I think it needs quite a bit of input from everybody, good or bad. On the whole, I think everything was, you know, was really good, and it was a success, and it was largely positive, wasn't it? So,
Just want to come back with one thing. I think it's, I'm going to say, I think it's been over-egged, is we have been contacted by a number of people who complained about the state of the field afterwards, right? I just wanted to flag that up just so it's minuted. But saying that, I've been down to the field just not long afterwards. It seems in a very decent condition.
yes.
I've been up there today.
When you say the state, you're not talking about litter, are you talking about?
Well, no, I was down there. I was down.
Yeah, so it's all
Absolutely unbelievable.
really good. Yeah, that way, litter wise, yeah, the best, yeah.
I've never seen them feel so clean. All I'm sort of saying is we've had a number of messages and emails to the council saying about the state of the field. Personally, and I will be replying to these emails, I didn't think it was that bad. And also, I think, I don't know if I was going to ask Claire, has any work been done at there to your knowledge?
Not to my knowledge. I have written to special events to ask if you know how we can rectify it. I'm still waiting.
Yeah, but this is all I'm saying. I've been up there today. I was up there. You know, other years we've had it, and there's been, you know, quite a lot of track marks and all that. But I would say it's not a lot. But as I said, I will reply to these emails to that effect, really.
Yeah, great. Anybody else?
And without going into minute stuff, just to say, a wonderful event, and it showed off this council at its best, working cross-party, putting on a community event, which is what we are here to do anyway. And thanks to all the councillors who helped out and all the staff as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
A big part of the day, so thank you very much for that.
It's great to see this council do
It's
some
really
good
good
stuff.
atmosphere there, I thought, you know.
It's a lovely atmosphere.
You can see all the councillors working together.
And relaxing together.
Just when next time, can you give Tim an earlier slot for the game, please?
It's slow.
Please, your slot when it rains soon.
That was the last one.
Ah,
I did the great
Okay, so we'll get a date in for the debrief then, and you're all welcome to that if you can make it. If not, just send us an email with anything you think that we could add for next year. Right, moving on to the next item 8, an update on the bowls tournament. Rod.
The update is, until we get funding, there is no update. So I would imagine with money that we could possibly applying for, it's going to be next year that we look at it. It would be early September that we'd be looking to put it on. I think it's probably going to be too late for this year to
Yeah.
get all of the
So
infrastructure.
should we put that forward for, say, January to work on for next year, maybe?
Yeah.
Thank you. And then an update from you, Richard, on the Mumbles.
More from last time, you know, the rationale behind it. I've been going around various venues, and Rob and I have done a fair bit of research on music. I've noted.
Yeah.
Research, I love that.
Now, on that, I just popped into the George because it only opened again this week. I can report to doing, the look of it, they're doing decent beer. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to go and try some just for the research. The lady there, the plant put music on and she loves the idea. All the premises I've been to are in favour of it. Oyster House, they're interested. Waterloo Stores, she loves the idea. And Tikuru, whenever I try and go there, chat, I know what's going on there.
Yeah.
Now, the guy at the Vic, he's very positive. One thing he did say, and they've all said, the summer tends to look after itself.
Yeah.
We need something later on. Now, September, just the last knockings of the summer, still taking over. It's been suggested October would be a good time.
Yeah, or even February, do they think?
Well, it could go spring and autumn one, who knows? Now, what he did say, because they put on a lot of bands, the good ones are now booked up for the rest of the year. So he said, get it right first time. He said, do it next year. Now, we could look at a spring one next year. We've got time to organise it then. So although we could put one on this year, I think we more likely get things wrong.
Yeah, and I think money's so tight, isn't it, that we need sponsorship, all the pubs to put in for their own bands. Would they do that, did you say?
I think the Vic would be happy just to put up bands themselves because it's something they do and they know they make good money out of it. Other premises, not so much. So, like the Yacht Club are interested. Either we're just opening to the public, as it were. But trying to keep things simple because our staff are pushed. All the organising of the bands down to the pubs themselves.
Yeah.
We could hopefully give a grant to each premises, or whatever figure that is, £300, whatever. They'll pay for one band at least. Depends on the band. Some are 150 an individual, some are more. And then they could put on 2 or more bands. And the idea being, whereas could coordinate what pubs have got what bands on at one time, at what time. Then it could be advertised and people come to Mumbles could look, oh no, there's band on this time, and go around the various premises. A bit like the Fringe Festival.
Yeah.
So
we need to look at what money we can get available or sponsorship opportunities.
Yeah, and there's counts as individual grants, perhaps.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's first of all, if we get a bit of money, I know it's taxpayers' money. However, that will get a lot of money put into the economy in Mumbles, and tourism is a main economy. But put something else on for residents, because a lot of local residents at weekends, their life is around what music's playing where. Just enhancing that and looking at advertising, and Claire's got a number of contacts, advertising to get as many people in as possible, and make it an annual event, or to mention spring, autumn, twice a year.
So should we, do you want to look to nail down a date or a week, and then we can move things forward with booking in the bands, or the pubs booking in the bands, or seeing what bands are available?
on sponsorship.
Hmm,
Because I guess they get the advertisement on our website, on all the branding that we put up around on socials too.
Yeah.
it might be worth getting in touch with Swansea Building Society. I know they're heavily into sponsorship. They've done quite a lot up at the Hub. They were the main sponsors of the Maggie's concert I did in the arena last year. And they're local and they have a branch in Mumbles. So it might be good to try and get a big sponsor for the whole thing. It wouldn't cost them that much. When you think of the grants things, or maybe by sponsoring a pavilion down the South End or something like that. But I'd say that they might be a good one to try.
Yeah.
Because they're a local company and they do sponsor.
Can we try that? Can I go maybe Claire?
Yeah.
Right? You if you need. One thing we didn't do, sorry, going back to Mumbles Fest, we didn't agree a date, which I wanted to do in this meeting, is agree a date for next year. So we have something to work on. So I've been back and forth with David Price here at the council to give us a couple of dates of when events are happening, not happening, just so that we can have a vague picture. And the one of the dates was potentially on Saturday, the 7th of June next year. It's the day before the Swansea Half Marathon, but no roads would be closed on that Saturday. So it wouldn't really affect us at all. And it's in June, so sort of arguably a bit less events and pop concerts that's going on later on in the month. Just kind of wanted to see if anybody had a negative no on that, or if everyone was happy for us to propose that to full council.
Maybe if it's a half marathon, one good thing about that would be there'd probably be people coming to Swansea for that.
And there might be something nice for them to do on the Saturday.
But would they go on the lash on the Saturday when they've got to go
Not if they're doing a half marathon
the next day?
Depends what sort of runners they are.
But you don't have to go on the lash, see, Robert.
There was also one other thing I was going to suggest about Mumbles Fest, but maybe this is taken up on a tangent and we can talk about this in the debrief, but whether or not we bring the finishing time of it earlier, that would save us on another amount of money with regards to a band. You know, like say, so that we could put that money into the lineup in the daytime and just make it perhaps stronger because everything's going up in cost and then it doesn't go until as late. But I don't know what everyone's thoughts are on that. It was just an idea.
Personally, I think on going earlier is we don't finish particularly late anyway.
No, to be fair, we don't. But I was just thinking perhaps if they finished it earlier there, the pubs in Mumbles then get the overflow, so they make on it rather than when they're coming out now, they're pretty much closed or closing. So I just
Hour, no.
yeah, or maybe it's just literally just something to think about.
Well, I think that's something we can talk about.
Yeah, in the debrief another time. Yeah.
Actual meeting about that.
There's no, or are there events on the week after that? The 7th or 9th, whatever you said, the date in June.
July is,
No, June now. Just so that we didn't clash with the marathon, say.
The weekend before was a bank holiday weekend. That would be okay.
that's the 31st.
31st of May. That would
That's
be
probably a bit early, don't you think?
Well, it together's the weekend before that.
Is it?
It's always May and it's always a cracking time.
Mm.
People are ready to start in May.
So I think once you've done it together, have a little rest weekend, and then maybe come
Yeah.
back first rest.
But is there something on the week after that?
June the 15th.
This year is it? So next year. It's
You got that?
sent, yeah.
You have that in your
Screenshot it, nice, thanks for photos. Yeah, took it on anything the weekend after. The Wales Air Show to be confirmed, looking at the same dates as this year, 5th, 6th July. Ironman, 13th of July to be confirmed. There's a couple of Singleton concerts going on in July again. The Race for Life on the 24th of May, that was the same weekend. And the Triathlon on the 25th of May, and that was also the same weekend as the In It Together. So that's a definite avoid that weekend.
I personally go for that one, the 15th.
The one, what was on that? There was something about the 15th.
There was.
Or was it just the half? It wasn't a half marathon, was it? It was a Ironman, I think, that weekend.
You just said that was in May, didn't you?
We've had so many back going
I think
around.
because I had the dates originally, which were.
Oh yeah, the Ironman's the 13th of July.
Yeah,
And then the concerts in Singleton are the 18th to the 20th of July.
yeah. Oh, the 15th of June, that weekend.
Yeah.
That weekend I can't do. That
You can't
weekend.
do that.
I can't do that weekend. But that weekend is available to do. And the weekend after is, let me just double check. Potentially also available to do.
I mean, I know, some people want to avoid the last weekend of June, so which I understand.
Oh yeah, and I think also the other thing was the family fun days in August.
Yeah.
It's good to get it done and then have a gap because now it's take away all the family fun
Yeah.
days. I
I
think
can't manage the workload because it's just too much to have 4 events on top of Mumbles Fest. If Mumbles Fest is 1 to July, I need to get Mumbles Fest earlier in the year. And actually, the weather's better earlier in the year than in
Well,
August.
I think we're going to be, we're going to go for this June event.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's a good time.
Unless Hannah, you have a major objection to that date. You're okay?
No, not at all. Sounds good to me.
And also, it's good to do it when the schools are in because we had such a good response without going into all the schools. But Clydera were really fantastic, and it'd be good to have them back and get the other schools involved. So we definitely don't want to do it during if they've broken up from school either.
So what date are we looking at?
Looking at the 7th of June. Do we have to propose that to full council now?
I made a recommendation.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Can I just check the, because you were speaking before Whitaker about his rec. Yeah, he's.
I did. He hasn't chosen a date yet.
Good.
But the original date that I suggested to him then couldn't be done either. So I will go back to him with his new date because again, I don't want to clash either side with him.
Presumably hadn't.
Yeah.
Is that in?
Yeah, true.
I think that's a good point, really, is if we can get it in the day of the usually now, and then we get it around to all the stakeholders, then people like all and all that go on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we'll put that in. Historic Mumbles update. Ian, do you have any more on this for us? This was something that we were going to discuss with, I think, Regeneration, but nothing can be done with that until after the elections.
Well, to be honest with you, it should do, I know, because we talked about it last week, but.
Yeah, okay,
I've gone blank, so,
let's move on from that.
okay.
Take that.
We
And
just
then,
know that's July, yeah.
and then the final one on the agenda is tourism information access, which
Can I just ask Ian to share the screen?
I can't actually. I haven't got the facility here. I'll try and go on to the, let me go on to this, I'll go on to my laptop.
No, just a website.
Let's have a look. No, I can't do that.
You can't.
Oh, for you to tell us more, Tim, for you to tell us more.
Sorry, I don't have any, it's only the,
No, it's great. Hannah's here today. There's a website called visitswanseabay.com.
Yeah.
Maintained by Swansea Council
absolutely.
to promote tourism in a wider region of Swansea. And on their website, there's a section for information, tourism information for people to access face to face. There are 2 places in Mumbles area. One is the pier. Another is.
Doesn't know it, look.
Second place is Mumbles Gallery on Mumbles Road. So 2 places. So I was just wondering, I mean, rather questions rather than anything is, Hannah, are you aware how it functions?
Yeah, so what I think you're talking about is something they did a long time ago, pre-COVID. They did come down with visitor information packs and whatnot, but we haven't had anything for about 5 years. So I don't think they're still doing it. I'm surprised it's still on the website.
Yeah, it is still on the website. So that information needs to be updated.
Yeah, it does need to be updated, and maybe Mumbles Community Council, being as we're open here, we could have the packages and the leaflets, and then people could actually pop in here, we could be added to the list, or take one of you two off the list if you don't want to be on the list, and we could be on the list.
Yeah.
Perhaps we could get a relationship or a conversation meeting going with, yeah, you know somebody from the
Kerry and I met with Swansea Bay Tourism website, and we have got a relationship with them, and we've talked about what we can do, but I think it transpired that we were going to wait to see what happened with the off stream, and then hopefully look at taking on a bit of the tourism side of things. Unfortunately, we could probably put packs in here, but it's an extra workload for the office.
Yeah.
If people are coming in, there needs to be the resources in place for that if we're going to take it on, because the interruptions, there needs to be an allocation there. But it's definitely something that we really want to explore further and really develop is the tourism within Mumbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, I mean, it's great. We've got the pier and Mumbles Gallery, but they are right off the beaten track of the heart of the village, where the buses come and where people need the tourism. As a possibility, because we have quite a lot of cafes here, maybe we could pay for some racks to go on the walls of these cafes, so tourist information can go in these, like leaflets, flyers and things like that. So all the cafes help us promote tourism and stuff like that as well.
Miles was on council. We were really, talking about having the digital access points for tourism. We were going to have one here and one down at
Did he?
fruition. What prices we're looking at.
I think they were really pricey.
Well, I think they were, but it was definitely an option without, an environmentally friendly option as well, because all this paper and all of these packs being developed are incredibly, not
Would it be possible? Sorry.
The thing with digital, anything digital, whoever can use that can Google everything they need to know. So the only people who actually really want to use a tourist information centre are probably people who can't use the digital format.
Yeah.
So I think paper and whatnot is probably more useful.
Yeah,
Martin. I'm just going to come in a couple of things on this, just as a sort of point of information. I have been in contact with Rob Stewart recently. Obviously, there's an election on at the moment, there's various things, but I have asked the meeting with Rob to discuss closer a working relationship. We'll understand with the businesses and the seawalls. I think this is something that we can really a closer working relationship between ourselves and city council. And I think we need to note that this is something that will need to be brought up at this meeting. Maybe more pushing of Mumbles and what facilities are available here. I think I did mention this, echoing what Hannah said. A couple of years ago, I went to a place in Spain called Cartagena, Spain. And one of the things that got to me there was when you arrived, you got out, I think I arrived there by car, but I got out of the car, my phone pinged. I don't know how they got it, but anyway, my phone pinged. And it just pinged to say that if you want any information about Cartagena, where to go in Cartagena, visit this website. Which I thought was pretty incredible, really, But, and again, echoing what Hannah sort of said, we could have these, and to do with the history of Mumbles, I think we've talked about this, these QR codes. And, we've got the railway thing now as well, haven't we? Because I do sort of think this paper thing is expensive. I know it is exclusionary, so not everybody's got smartphones and sort of stuff like that.
But where do you store it as well? I mean, where have we got to put a rack?
All I'm sort of saying is, I don't know about you, but whenever I go travelling nowadays, tourist information places, they just don't exist anymore. It's all on stuff like that. But there are things in the place where you go to direct you to it. And I don't think we've got that here.
But I do think that this is Mumbles Community Council and we're here and it is manned. Appreciate you saying about the extra workload. But I mean, I don't know how many extra people we would get through the doors, but it's a point of them to come in and just get a little leaflet or a little bit of information. And on the leaflet note, I was thinking if they put them in the shops.
Yeah.
You know, with the newsletter, it isn't environmentally friendly, but taking on board what Hannah said, some people do want a leaflet, and it doesn't have to be hugely dated, you know, it can be the one done for that summer of that year, and then the shops have them, we don't have to distribute them through the houses.
But there is one company, I can't remember, they call Pear something or other, they've got them in the co-op on Fairwood Lane in Fairwood Road in West Cross. You go in, there's all leaflets about things to do locally.
Yeah.
It's a company that does it, and
Yeah,
I'll have
it's
to-
their communication, but that's
That's-
much
yeah.
bigger than what we would
Yeah.
need. They're
But all
quite
I'm saying-
expensive.
yeah, but what I'm saying, even if, say, we had some of those Pear leaflets in the doorway over there, that would be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So
you
Mark-
could just have a small rack of like our own Mumbles community council newsletter, and next to them, you wouldn't even have to put it in the office, literally in that entrance way.
Yeah, sorry, Tim, and then Rob.
So, I was just thinking, would it be too ambitious to see Mumbles as a tourism hub for the region beyond like Gower as well as Swansea?
Crown, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it's too ambitious.
And if that is the case, then perhaps there's a need for a physical information centre.
This is what we've spoken about,
Yeah.
and
We've
We
spoken
don't-
for years, haven't we?
well, we have, but also we met with Kerry and I did meet with
Okay.
Swansea Bay and tourism, and we said until we've got the facilities here, which we don't have right now, but if there was a reception area and there was another member of staff, for instance, that ran the reception, you know, or whatever, then that would be ideal. But it's until all of that comes through to fruition.
Listen, there used to be a tourist information place down by the. Yeah.
We've spoken about it for a long time and different items, but that's where it's at.
Okay, thank you.
To carry on what Claire said, you know, first of all, it hasn't been talked about for a long time, but until Australia developed, we can't do anything here. But I agree with Tim, there needs to be a central hub in Mumbles where people can get paper things to take away. As somebody who does concerts locally as well, I know that not everybody uses Facebook. We have a large older demographic who don't use smartphones, phones, and they don't go online. So to take away physical flyer to remind them of a concert is much better. You know, we rely on shops putting up flyers and posters to help promote things like that. So you can't take away that physical paper aspect. I know we're trying to be more environmentally friendly, but if you want people at the concert, you've got to do it. You know, it's like we put up signs for Mumfest and the banners and stuff like that. You've got to be in people's face with your marketing, and not everybody's on Facebook. So what we really miss and has affected concert trade is since the Methodist Church stopped being a ticket source as well, because we used to sell tickets through them, which was great because everybody knew, oh, I want to get a ticket for a church concert, festival, whatever. I can go there and get them. Whereas people who don't do online, sometimes it comes like, oh, I can't be bothered now and stuff like that. So it's getting people early. I think we do need that, but I still think, you know, we could maybe, as an interim thing, have these plastic things that people put their flyers in and put them around some of the cafes.
We've got them in the foyer of M&S as well, I think.
M&S have got them as well, yeah. But, you know, it's getting the community on board with us. The more people come here, the more money the local economy is going to make.
I mean, it goes back to, I suppose, forward planning, and if we know the family fun days for next year, that will help you with booking things in. The Mumbles Fest date for next year, then if we did want to get a leaflet printed with all of this information on for people, they can have it in earlier as well. It's the Wi-Fi. If you're in a place and you've got Wi-Fi, it's fine, but with 3G, 4G, sometimes, on my phone anyway.
Sorry, Paul. Yeah.
Just ask, Chair, you know, the if we had one of those round carousel things on wheels, they could be wheeled out when we come in at 9, put outside by the door,
Yeah.
and then wheeled back. And you know, the leaflets themselves wouldn't cost any money, would they? And I don't know. We're talking peanuts, aren't we, together?
Well, the leaflets, it's not that we need to provide the leaflets of what's going on, it's up to organisations to provide us with leaflets to fill the carousel.
Yeah, but we could do our own one.
And we can do our own.
Spare communication, won't you? Because we don't even do those here, do we?
Yeah, perhaps we can look at that.
So I would ask myself to look into that.
Yeah, the carousel, yeah, go on then, please, thank you, just to see how much they are. Okay. Anything else to add on that? Yeah. Well, I think we'll add the Mumbles Fest date towards the big family council meeting, and I think
That's in record.
that's a record.
That's in the recommendation of the full council. I'll let Terry know after the meeting, so.
When we can have the debrief for the Mumbles Fest.
Yeah, should we sort a date when people are available?
Yeah.
Okay. Hannah, if you want to, you're welcome to stay on for us to choose a date when we're all available. For a debrief, if you don't feel like you have to, but you're welcome to. But in terms of the meeting for online, that you can stop recording now, Ian, can you?
Yeah, meeting finished.
Thank you, meeting finished. Okay, in terms of dates, when can everyone do? What would be good for you?
We seem to all be able to do this time on a Wednesday, isn't it?
I'm away the next 3.
No.
I can only do next